Hey everybody, it's me, Trader Max, here on July 30th, 2024. We're about to do a coin read for our favorite CTO, Pojak. Let's get started. How you doing, everybody? Boy, what a wonderful day it is to be alive and have everything going in your favor. Now, even if it's really not, you gotta act as if and keep pushing through. So let's talk about Pojak. Now, you've seen a few videos so far, right? You wouldn't be here if you didn't. You watched a few videos on what we're doing over at Pojak, what they're doing over at Pojak, and me too as well. I'm there as helping out. But let me give you some insight here on why this is going to be so successful. Over the last couple of days, the last week or so, too, right? I think it's been live like 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. This slowly, and this looks slow because we're pulled out, right? If we pull all the way out, it looks like, look how flat it looks. But when you get really into it, you'll see how volatile and where things were. But the volatility was all from just price movement and action with news and other inflections, right? Now, the biggest psychological level that hits us is that 1 million market cap. I don't know why. It just kind of resonates and hits in a completely different way, vibrates the body, the mentality, and everything else. Now, let's talk about what are the big blue lines. I'm glad you asked. So, this is our market cap up top, right? This is the 1 million zone. Now, when a coin finds a channel to be in, where do you think it gravitates to? In most cases, in most coins, and I've looked at a couple thousand coins to see where the successes were along the way. Well, the ones that I find the most is the moment that we pierce into the 500,000 market cap psychological channel in this point, right? And I'm going to put this up here because it's very powerful as it skipped this 500,000 to 750 area, right? The 705 to 7 is a pretty good channel for a lot of coins to vibrate in that 200,000 market cap channel. But in some cases, as it does interject and go into this 1 million psychological zone, it can sometimes bounce in between, especially if there's a tremendous amount of holders and they're all like hitting the 1 million and going, all right, I want to sell off some of my stuff, and they're doing so properly. It'll slowly descend to 500 and come back up. It'll find the mean somewhere right around that 750,000 mark, okay? And then it'll keep going on, right? So the solution here for all of you at Pojak is to buy and sell responsibly, DCing out, slowly trending out so you don't hurt the coin. So you have to be very careful. But if you have a big giant bag, you shouldn't be selling any of it, really. You should always be interjecting and making money with your coin as you go, as the progress happens. And these little micro buys and sells of movement, these are where the powerful stuff is. Now, I won't say little, these are actually pretty big. You can actually make a decent living coming up with 50% profit margins in this movements. I teach that in my courses, and you'll see a link in the thing here soon as we develop those courses out to TraderMaxx University of Trading. But where we're at right now is instead of 500,000, we've established a nice little bottom trend here at 700. And why is that so important? Why do I pause for reflection with these two events that are happening here? Most cases, like the green and red candles are just a war. They're just a battle. Who's winning, who's losing, who's retreating, right? Who's winning the day and adding a whole big bag in, all that kind of stuff. These are telltales. But remember that a few things are true. I'm going to color this one here orange because this is our new mean, okay? So we project into the zone, which takes us from a resistance to a support, and this support area becomes very strong. As it races to 1 million, it rejects solidly, okay? It went past a little bit by 0.09, right? But it rejected solidly and came back down. But where does it go? That's right, always back to the mean. Everything's about the mean because the mean is mean. As it vibrates and comes around, it's going to drop back down to its natural level. The first time it did it was right here. And this became the cutting stone, right? This very first rejection and movement back to the mean. You can see where things are going to vibrate. I immediately know when this happens, this little trail happens, if it does come up and create a top, I can tell you where it's going next. It's going down to the same amount of distance from here to here to here to here. right? And you could play this like clockwork on 90% of the coins or even any kind of trading on charts with that mentality. So this return to its natural base, that's where it wants to go, its natural base. These are algorithms, these are people's mentality, what they've been told to trade, all that kind of stuff. So as it rejects, where does it go again? Back to the mean. So reading this becomes pretty easy. So as it rejects on the second, this is referred to as a double bottom here. Now this is where a story, the next move, you ever see that, it's like, I hate to use this term, Mexican standoff kind of mentality. Whoever talks first is this, right? Whatever direction it projects into next and breaks is where it's going, right? Because we know that the next big thing that happens after here, if this line is broken, because it's established this line, that means that this could turn into a descending trend. Now, we don't know yet. We're going to find out today. If this one starts to go and we get another lower high happening over here, we could be in for a little bit of movement, right? We could be in a little bit of movement to be in this bandwidth area of 500,000. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a call to action, because it is. You know, if there's something that's going on, if there's a new program, this is where the leaders of the project can start to spot. I don't say this to be negative, right? I'm not projecting this. I'm not forcing this to go down. I'm good at my job because I know the market and how the human element, because there's a lot of them in there, the human element acts in this direction. Now, here's the good part. You have a very reactive group of people that are here to support you and this coin, and they got so much stuff going on, it's crazy. So these shouldn't last too long in descending trends. In fact, this might be, from this bounce, an ascending trend. And we'll know later if we pierce the mean and touch the top again, which we still could. But from this point, I would have made a buying signal as soon as this came down here, because even if it did come down, I'm still holding coin. And as it comes back up and projection goes back up through again, I make money. That's how it works. All right. I don't really have too much more for you for Pojak. There's a lot of stuff releasing. They're in a lot of spaces. Be a part of it. Under the concept of Metcalfe's Law, a group of people or a network that is more connected, that is more involved, is a stronger network. And I know that's like, all right, thanks, Captain Obvious, but it's true. Get involved, become part of the solution. They say work for your bag. Just show up for your bag will actually make it stronger. All right, I'm Trader Max. I'll see you next time. I'm Trader Max, and as always, trade well.